Hello, my name is Nicole, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. Today, I titled this message, The End to the Bad Memories. The End to the Bad Memories. Some of you are tired of just seeing visions and dreams and any number of things related to the past, okay? Those bad memories continue to plague your mind and you're tired of it. So you have been praying, some of you all fasting, you have been trusting in the Lord to just do what you can to end bad memories. I will tell you that God is working. He is working. It's just that we also have to work too, though. You see, God will provide us with things to think about to take us away from whatever it is that upsets us, makes us nervous, worries us, keeps playing over and over in our mind. But we have to be willing to go there with Him. There's a moment of what some would call self-reflection, okay? Where you're sitting back and you're thinking about, okay, this happened. This is how I feel about it, okay? But then for some people, that's all they'll do. This is what happened. This is how I feel about it. Then they're getting on the phone. They're talking to someone. They're, mentioning something to a neighbor. They might even write about it on a blog. But then what else are you doing with that? You've got to be able to get up out of the problems, okay, how it made you feel, and get to the solutions and how you don't want to feel anymore about it. I got to a place where I could talk about my past abuse because I stopped feeling it. You see, I stopped reliving it. I stopped playing every little detail out. Yes, are there those times where you might have to pull some information and go a little deep, but you are in control of that. If you have moved on with your life, you don't want to get so detailed to the point where the feelings are coming and now I'm right back in a place that I never wanted to be in the first place. And it's all because somebody was asking me these questions, or I watched a movie, or I read something. When you feel that you're going down that rabbit hole again of darkness and gloom and depression, that's when you've got to redirect your thoughts. You have to be the one to do that. So how do I do it? First up, you're going to tell yourself, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to keep thinking about this. That's the first thing. Oh, but it's going to keep coming up. But you're going to still have to take authority over your mind, body, and spirit through Christ Jesus, who strengthens you to say, I am not going to continue to play this out. Are there tools out there to help you? Absolutely. First of all, you don't play music that reminds you of the past abuses. Some people will continue to listen to certain artists that they were listening to during the time when abuse took place, or during the time when the offense took place. Why would you continue to do that? You do not encourage the negativity by listening to the music that you were listening to back then, by watching the types of programming related to the situation over and over again. You don't keep talking to people about it. Some folks are going to have to distance themselves from certain churches, certain support groups, and so forth, because they have got to a place where they're no longer helping you. You can't keep talking about the same old, and think that you're going to heal. Sometimes you don't heal from it or get past it because you're in bondage or enslaved to the group who wants to keep you talking about it, who wants to keep you doing things connected to it. Thank you very much. This was a nice journey, but I think that I'm equipped enough to move on without this. I'm tired of this now. Okay? It's like beating a dead horse. Once you have gotten the solutions, okay, I'm supposed to redirect my thoughts. Next, I'm supposed to disconnect from the things that remind me of those memories, those abuses. It may be people, and I'm always encouraging that sort of thing. Get rid of the toxic folks that want to keep talking to you about the past, that want to keep putting you in the past, that want to keep criticizing you about the past. Sorry, we cannot keep talking anymore. Why? Because every time when something comes up, you want to bring up what I did back then or who I was involved with. Okay, parents, grandparents, relatives, best friends, and so forth are good for bringing you back to the so-called good old days, or to those days that were good for them but not good for you. And so what does it do? It triggers these memories that you don't want. Take a break from these folks. If you can't cut them off altogether, at least take a break from them. Take a break from the conversation. Tell them that you don't want to hear anything else about that person or that situation. You're not going to believe everything I say anyway, so why are we going to keep talking about it? Why do you feel the need to bring it up? Maybe you got some issues that you need to deal with, and I can't help you through. I'm going through myself. You see, you're going to have to make it plain. Talk to these people and let them know you are no longer that person that's willing to have that conversation with them anymore. And you are not open to listening to them talk to you about said events over and over again. Okay? Siblings will do that. They'll keep bringing up some girls or some guys back in the day that you were acquainted with and so forth. I don't want to hear that. That's what Facebook is for. If I wanted to connect with those folks that you keep talking about, I would have done it. But I don't want to connect with them. And I don't need you to keep talking about how much of a player or how much of a pimp or a hustler I used to be or whatever it was that you did. Okay? And then, of course, when you're fighting past all of the memories and the stuff that keeps showing up, you want to be mindful of what it is that you are listening to and watching and who you're talking to before you go to bed, because that stuff tends to leave an imprint on your mind as you sleep, and it will enter into your dreams. Things that you hadn't thought about in umpteen years will start coming back again if you keep reading certain books and listening to certain people before you go to bed, connected to the thing that keeps playing over and over in your mind. Okay? I believe in listening to the type of music that's instrumental and that increases brain waves. Okay, so if I'm looking to study, I want the type of music that's going to help me study. If I'm looking to meditate, I want the kind of music to help me meditate. If I want complete silence, then of course I shut down everything around me, you see. And then I take control over my thoughts. No, we are not thinking about that right now. We're thinking about this. And you have to constantly do that as these thoughts show up in your mind, as these visions and memories and things like that. The other thing is that if you keep experiencing or dwelling on the negative events and stressing yourself out, it will affect other areas of your life. You will find yourself being short-tempered with your children, or, your loved ones around you. You will also notice that you're not doing so well with your work because you keep letting the thoughts pop up into your mind. You might even overreact when someone brings up something. Those are all signs that you're just dwelling on the situation too much. Maybe, like I said, it's an organization that you might have to disconnect from because you're too involved in it. Maybe your time to retire from it has come, and now it's time to move on to something else that's more positive, that's more uplifting, So you know yourself, and you know what you're going to need to do. Once again, praying is not good enough. Okay, it's good, but not good enough. You've got to be proactive in making sure that this stuff, stops popping up in your mind. Okay, even since there may be a perfume that you have that you wore back then when you were in the terrible marriage, or, when you were involved with the guy or the girl that you're no longer dating, and it triggers certain memories. Get rid of it. Sell the remaining bottle of it on the internet. Okay. There may be certain foods that you continue to eat and you don't really like them, but you eat them anyway, and they trigger certain moods. It's time to take a break from certain foods. Okay. There may be a photo, or some type of relic in your household that keeps producing memories. Get rid of it. You're not going crazy. It's that thing that you keep walking past that's making you crazy. Or it could be a long overdue connection to someone that you no longer like or love, and they keep bringing out memories of, abuses that your dad put upon you, or your mother put upon you, or, a rape that took place way back when, or what have you. Okay. Whatever they're doing, If you can be able to, communicate with them that what they're doing is triggering all sorts of memories without, being too detailed, tell them. And if they continue to do it, or you notice that the relationship is just going in a direction that is just very unhealthy, you know what you're going to have to do. I'm sure no one has to, tell you. So you do what you can to distance yourself, to separate, to get away from that person, especially if they got a certain expression on their face that reminds you of someone. I don't have to look at you when you look like that, because I start thinking about, A, B, and C, you see, so you turn your head away. These things will affect your health. I know some people will say, what, how can having bad memories or thinking about the past so much, or, working with people that's connected to my past, how is that going to affect my health? Well, you think you might find yourself feeling depressed or having some type of post-traumatic stress, issue or anxiety. There may be some things that they're saying that make your stomach hurt often. I know sometimes if I'm having a conversation with some folks and it sounds very similar to conversations I've had in the past that produced all sorts of stress with others, I will feel that. And next thing you know, I'm having upset in my stomach, and then it turns into a headache, because people have just a way of triggering some stuff from childhood. And like I said, you're not crazy. It's just sometimes people and places and things and smells, and things that you even hear. It's like, wait a minute, I was here in this before. And then you try to figure out, okay, what was it? And then when you think about it, oh no, then all the other memories come. These suppressed memories from way back when that you really didn't want to conjure up, but oh well, they show up. Sometimes just getting older will produce old memories. Things that you suppressed long ago. Now, all of a sudden, a flood of memories come. A death of a loved one. I know that happened to me. Someone died, and next thing you know, all of this stuff that I had long forgot about started coming forth. And I said, oh, this is why I felt the way I did. This is why I don't like this, that, and the other. This is why I cannot connect with certain people because of this. Okay, I get it, you see. And God will give you that plan of escape. I've said it before. I'm going to say it again. We don't have to sit around some folks that bring out nothing but ugly, you see. We don't have to continue to be in conversations with people like that. And we don't have to keep looking at folks that remind us of people that did bad stuff to us. Because some folks, it's unfortunate, but they look like the abuser, you see. And you don't have to say why you're not talking to him anymore, because people would say, you're crazy. I'm not that person. Why would you hold me to that? You see? But the truth of the matter is that if you can't get over some things, you just can't get over some things. And so you do what you have to do. There was a guy that I ended up dating that had similarities to the man who abused me. So lo and behold, if we got into a dispute, I didn't see him. Sometimes there were flashes before my eyes of the man who abused me. So I was going off the deep end sometimes. And did that relationship last? Absolutely not. How does it last when you're involved with somebody who reminds you of someone every now and again who abused you? It doesn't. And that's a part of freedom. You realize, too, that I only got involved with him because I was still caught up in some mental and physical bondage with the other one. But now that I'm over that sort of thing, I don't want to keep him around, you see. So, if you don't learn to take control over your negative thoughts and start putting some positive ones in there, you're going to continue to deal with all of these issues. You've got to put some positive people, places, and things around you. You have to be able to say, okay, I'm not going to listen to those things that keep me upset, that keep me thinking about the past. So you start changing the way you do things. You start changing your routine. You start looking for the types of stuff that uplift you emotionally, physically, and spiritually. You stop looking at shows that bring you down. You stop going to places where it's the same old, same old. You stop, giving so much time to people who all they know how to do is frustrate you, worry you, keep you angered or upset about something, okay? Bring you into drama that you don't want to be a part of. Everybody has an expiration date for what they can tolerate. If I'm talking too long about something or someone that you don't like, and you pretty much say to yourself, it's the same old with her, what are you going to do? You're going to gradually distance yourself away from me, because you're going to say that she's got too much stuff going on with her and I can't take it, and she's not giving me no solutions to anything. All she's doing is giving me a bunch of problems. Okay? Well, if you can see that with some folks, then see it with yourself. Tell yourself, listen, I'm not liking me very much right now. And girlfriend, you're going to need to get it together. Okay? Pull it together. Let's get our face together. Let's get our body together. Let's get our hair together. Because all of that negative thinking within eventually affects the way you look too. People start saying, what's wrong? You're like, nothing. Well, it looks like you're going through something. I mean, are you okay? Are you all right? I'm fine. And then if you're honest with yourself and you really look at yourself in the mirror, you can see that you're not fine, because all of that weird stuff that's inside your mind starts showing up on your face. You stop smiling. You don't sing. Maybe you are a singer. You don't sing as much as you used to, or you may have danced, but now you don't dance like you used to. You used to praise the Lord, but now you don't praise the Lord as much. People notice stuff. And then it will affect the way you eat. And, all of this dwelling on stuff. And, you might even find yourself going back, to the old life, drinking and cursing and, using drugs and all that. And it all started because we did not have self-control over our thoughts. And we were not willing to work out the necessary solutions to get desired results. We didn't think about why it is that we keep having these visions. We don't change routine. We don't distract ourselves. We're sitting up there just thinking all the time about all sorts of stuff. Instead of, okay, I got my place that needs to be cleaned up. I need to make some phone calls. I need to make some appointments. I also need to sit down and talk with some people about some personal business that I've been putting off. I mean, I got a lot of stuff to do. Why am I sitting here thinking about some old memories from way back when? And I'll tell you that moment of just placing yourself right here in this moment. What is it that I need to do right now? Or just enjoying the moment. Maybe there's nothing that you have to do. Maybe you're just at an event and you're looking around. Or maybe you're at home and the television isn't on, the phone isn't ringing, and you're just in the moment. That's what you're supposed to be doing then. You just appreciating life right where you are, because life is too short. And you don't want to end up leaving this world and people saying, oh, all she did was think about that man. Every time she called me, that's all she was talking about was her man, her husband, her, a friend. All she kept talking about was the past and how everybody hurt her and all this other stuff. And nobody was, getting any type of solutions. It was just always some drama, and she was acting ugly and nasty to people. You don't want people to say that about you. And then you got some guys who they sit back and they're just mad at the world, and they will not smile. They won't crack a smile. You know that they're thinking deeply about some stuff, but when you ask them, oh no, I'm not thinking about anything. Oh yes, you are. Oh yes, you are. Probably you regret decisions that you make. Well, how long are you going to stick it out in regret? A true winner is going to take whatever situation they're in, and they're going to make it better. They're going to learn from their situation. They're going to help others in their mess. As they're coming out of it, they're helping others. They're not sitting up there dwelling on, oh, I wish I wasn't in this relationship. I wish I wasn't at this job. And all of the memories associated with it. If this wouldn't have happened, maybe I wouldn't have been in this situation. So then they're taking their anger out on everybody else because of their foolish mistakes. And they've got all these memories going on inside their mind. What, we're supposed to suffer? No, absolutely not. God frees us from all of that. And so you want to free yourself, free your mind from all of this stuff from way back when. And when things remind you of the past, you are going to have to say, but that is not my present. That is not my future. I am not walking in that. Were these people this way toward me back in the day? Yes. Did they have this sort of thing that took place? You acknowledge the fact that the pain is there, that the upset is there, but you don't dwell in it. You don't stay in there for too long. You come up out of it. You give yourself permission to grieve, but then you come up out of it. We're not going to keep doing this. I'm going to dust myself off. I'm going to clean up my face. I'm going to, put on some nice clothes. I'm going to, go out and buy some new perfume, start making different meals, some new meals that's not going to remind me of, the heartache and the upset from the last relationship and all that. I'm telling you, as you do new things, as you embark on new goals, as you learn from your mistakes, your life will take off. Things will get better, and people won't mind coming to you and talking to you and, helping you out and all of that. But as long as you are putting out negativity, expect negativity in return. So I thank you so much, as always, for taking the time out of your busy schedule to listen. And pray for your mind, pray for your soul, pray for your spirit, pray for all those people who are also struggling like you. Now, put on some positive music, preferably something that's instrumental. All right. Thank you so much for listening, and to God be the glory.